Hello, students. One of the students have posted the car that she plans, she has in mind. For example, it is a Toyota Highlander and it is valued at $56,000. The reason it is pricey, one reason, of course, is a new car and it's a hybrid car. The student has gone to this website, which is in Martinsburg, most likely, and has found the car. This is the car. And that is, the student has posted and all the information needed. And do you see that the price is here and it's already in stock? They already have it. Then we come here and the student has gone to the calculator and then has put the price of the car, which is 56,000. You see it right here in the calculator. Then the student wants to pay it over 60 months. And the interest rates they give her is 5%. And as you all know, these days, I have a feeling they will charge you, much more than 5. She's using it just as an example. The reason I say it is more than 5, if you all follow the news, the Federal Reserve about 2 days ago, dropped the interest rate. The base rate is around 5%. Therefore, these dealerships these days, if they want to sell it, I don't know, maybe 10%, they get 9, 10%. Anyhow. And then what this student is doing is that he's using a trading, putting her car, which is $22,000, and is assuming that sales tax in Maryland is 6%. And therefore, a month, this is the sales tax, and is assuming $2,800 are the fees for registration, and also has calculated her monthly payment is $787, which is right in here, as you all see. Then what is requesting is 41,000. The calculator, calculated. This is the $41,000 that is asking, and then is 6% taxes, and therefore comes in here and all the fees, and she is taking here. I will have an ending balance of looking at the amortization table. She knows that after 1 year, if she wants to go and pay it off, she has to pay $34,000, and therefore I will tell you how she has done it. Let's look at the here. This is the price of the car right here. 60 months, 5%. Of course, very quickly she can go and adjust it. Suppose changes 5% to 10%, And then cash incentive, most likely the dealer is saying that if you buy it, we are going to send you a, rebate or something. And then she is giving her current car, which is maybe is valued at $22,000. And she still owes money to her bank for this car that she owes. And then state of Maryland, 6% taxes. This is something the calculator didn't put it, this $2,800. This is what she knows about the registration fees for a car, which is in Maryland. Therefore, after she clicked on calculate, she got the number of $41,000. That's how much she has to borrow. Sales taxes, $3,400. The calculator calculates that, which means it takes the sales and multiplies by 6%, and that's what it comes. And then, therefore, the total of 60 payments it comes to. This is what she has to pay altogether. And then $5,000 also the interest rates, and with all the down payments and her car and everything she's putting, the total cost of the car. Where does this number come from? It is the price of the car, which is $56,000 plus the interest. Interest is already here. Taxes and fees. She knows the taxes which are here, and fees. If you add all of them, the calculator will add, and all of them will come to $67,000. And here, as you see, out of all the money that she pays, 88% of it will go for the principal, and 12% goes for the, interest. Now, what she did, she came here and used the amortization table. As you all know, she's paying $787. That's almost $1,000 every year. Therefore, what out of 10,000 she pays, around 8,000. Do you see here is written around 750? Around 8,000 goes for the principal, and $2,000 during the first year goes for the interest. Therefore, the total is 10,000. If at the end of the year she goes to the dealer and bank or says that wants to pay off, she has to pay $4,000 to pay off the loan. Then next year again, she pays around 10,000. It's less than, what she does is that she still pays the same amount of, $10,000 a year, but most of it now goes, a little bit to principal, little bit. You see this interest, reduces what the reason. It's still 5%. But because she owes less money each year, therefore the interest on that less money is less and less. That's why the interest, the last payment during the final year, she only pays $250 on the interest, and the rest of the money, which is $9,203, is paid for the principal, and that principal comes to zero. Therefore, out of these 40 some $1,000 comes all the way to zero after 5 years. Here, from here to here is the total interest. This green line comes from the interest here. Do you see here? These interests come from here. This red line comes from here. And then the combination of these two is what comes to the total money that she has to pay, which is 47,000. Do you see it has gone above 40? Why? Because from here to here is what she's borrowing, and this much is interest, and that is the total payment, which is 47,000. This is correct. If at any time she wants to know how monthly it looks like, she will click on monthly schedule here, which is written monthly. That monthly will show. Therefore, she did everything correctly. And if I want you to do the same, because the same concepts is used, the same calculator is used for credit cards, for the home loans, mortgages, everything. Therefore, I want to make sure all students understood. One thing I want to tell very clearly is that be very careful about buying expensive cars. I have seen, unless you can afford it, I have seen many students make a mistake. They are young, they don't have good jobs, strong income. They go and suddenly buy a car for $50,000, $60,000, and then they spend all their money, And it shouldn't, the car payment, the insurance, everything should be a portion of your salary. You might be surprised if I tell you what portion of my salary goes for my car. I am paying, actually. I am paying 3% for my car. I borrowed around $20,000, and the interest rate I am paying is 3% because I got my loan when, about 3 years ago. And then my total is only not even 5% of my salary, which I am a lucky person, 5% of our salary goes for car, or 4% for the mortgage. And of course, the best thing is that if we have money and to pay cash, but if we don't, take a look and see what percentage of your salary goes for the car. And I will do some research using ChatGPT, and I will tell you, let me bring ChatGPT and see what it says. Here is ChatGPT. What percentage, here you go, percentage of the salary should go for a loan for cars? Let's say on average. Let's see where you are standing in terms of, on average, financial experts are saying no more than 10 to 15% of your salary. Some students suddenly 80%, I do not 80, 30%, 40% of their salary goes for the, for monthly income and allocate for the car loan payment. Do you see that? It's how nice ChatGPT told me. See how lucky I am and how good I am in my finance. I am paying only around 3% or 4% of my salary. The smartest thing is that if I had cash, I would have paid it. Therefore, you evaluate your car payment, what you are paying. Are you paying more than 15%? Maybe you shouldn't. And, therefore, make sure. Many people have, the same thing is for rent. The same thing is for credit card. I can say what percentage should go for the rent. Here you go. What percentage of the salary should go for rent? And I put on average that it understands. Here we go. On average, they recommend 30%. Do you see that? If you are paying more than 30%, you are in a bad situation. Do you know how much I am paying for my rent? And see how lucky I am. I would say I am paying only only less than 10% of my salary. That means I am paying, 4% for the car, 10, around 10% for the, rent. That is only, 14, 15% of the whole thing. Therefore, that leaves you with a lot of money for investment. You are a good financial manager. If you have good portion of your salary, of course you want to have a reliable car, you want to have a nice place to live, you shouldn't make the life difficult for yourself, but you want to make sure that the car, the insurance, the mortgage, the rent, and those and even it says, therefore we want you to become familiar with these numbers. We will talk about it in more detail.